I stood with my 12-gauge shotgun aimed at the sky, Marjorie Hanson hollering about federal law, and a flaming drone smashing into my barn, all because the HOA thought they could seize my ranch for their fancy solar panels. What they didn't know was my great-grandfather had set a trap a century ago, and it was about to explode in their faces. You're probably wondering how this could happen legally and how Marjorie didn't see it coming. That's the beauty of it, she didn't. Like most self-righteous suburban overlords armed with internet law and HOA bylaws, she figured anyone beyond her gated utopia was just a yokel with a gun and a cow named Daisy. Half true, my shotgun's Maggie, and I haven't had a cow named Daisy since the 90s. What I do have is 140 acres of legally fortified, cleverly defended, and wildly underestimated family land, and plenty of time. It started 3 weeks before that drone took a fiery dive into my siding, sparking a barn fire that me and my cousin Elliot fought for 2 hours with soaked grain sacks. That morning, I'd spotted guys in safety vests near the eastern fence on my ATV. "What's this?" I asked. One grinned like I'd offered him a donut. "Prepping the install site for the solar expansion, sir. Done in a week or 2. "Expansion for what?" He checked his clipboard. "HOA solar grid. New green initiative." I stared at him, then at the orange markers and pink flags 20 feet onto my land, fluttering like they belonged. Too early to lose it, I nodded, said I'd be back, and sped to the HOA office. I don't live in the HOA. My ranch borders Maple Hollow Estates, a sprawl of cookie-cutter homes with 2-car garages and identical flower beds, obsessed with sameness so much it'd make a yard sale look like a free-for-all. Their charter formed a decade ago, well after I inherited the ranch. They tried nibbling at my land before border disputes, historical variances, but I shut it down with posts and paperwork. This was bolder. At the office, Marjorie Hanson, HOA president, real name Linda, but she used Marjorie vibes, greeted me. "Ben Carver, I'm the president, and we need your signature for our energy-sharing deal." She smiled like we were swapping pie recipes. "No," I said. She blinked. "No, you're not putting anything on my land." "No, you didn't ask." "No, I'm not signing." Her smile soured. "Mr. Carver, you don't grasp the opportunity. Sustainable energy for the community." "My barn's not your community," I shot back. She inhaled like a TV lawyer about to drop a zinger. "The board voted we can use adjacent unzoned land for community benefit. You'll hardly notice." "Funny," I said, "I didn't notice it was yours." Then came emails, flyers, a glossy pamphlet with my eastern field photoshopped under solar panels, mailed to every Maple Hollow house and posted on their private Facebook group. Guess who wasn't invited? They held info sessions, snapping selfies by my hayfield, dubbed the Future Solar Zone. I laughed until trucks rolled in with cement posts, wiring, and junction boxes inside my fence. I sent a cease and desist through my lawyer. Agnes, 73, floral scarves, once sued the city over a pothole. Marjorie ignored it. Instead, she flew a drone over my ranch daily, hovering by barns, pens, even windows. I checked their Facebook via a dummy account. Marjorie posted about monitoring encroachments and safety hazards, video in progress. That buzzing spy had to go. So there I was, Maggie skyward, drone 20 feet above my driveway, Marjorie filming from her side, yelling about airspace. I waved, grinned, and blasted it. Sparks, spin, crash into the barn. Flames. She screamed like I'd shot her cat. I strolled to my porch, Wednesday as usual. She called the FAA. I called Agnes. Here's the twist. Her drone broke 3 state privacy laws, flew over protected livestock zones, and dipped below 50 feet for days. I had footage, timestamps, and a ticked-off alpaca named Hank as proof. The FAA didn't care about me. They asked for my clips, then told me Marjorie faced an investigation for violations. Her pristine HOA record was stained. Things heated up post-drone. After Marjorie's meltdown, I trekked to the ranch's east end, past Willow Creek where markers first appeared. Granddad always said, if they try to steal, check the iron. I thought he meant a rifle. Wrong. An hour with a metal detector unearthed a rusted plaque anchored in stone. Brushing off mud, I read it and realized Marjorie hadn't just crossed a line, she'd tripped a century-old legal bomb. Dated 1923, the cast-iron plaque was a covenant, etched deep. Construction on the Eastern Carver Ranch perimeter without consent triggered forfeiture. Land and structures reverted to the Carver family, with survey coordinates and easement clauses. I laughed, spooking a rabbit. Great-granddad, an ornery cuss who loved whiskey and loathed entitled suits, once sued a railroad for crossing his fields. They paid up and let him file this covenant, pure spite. 100 years later, it snared an HOA tyrant. I called Agnes, recited it. She raced over with a legal pad and gardening gloves. 3 hours of county records confirmed it. Filed, stamped, unchallenged, enforceable. Toast, she grinned. No title check before digging, classic HOA arrogance. Now what? I asked. She scribbled. Certified letter. Let them dig deeper while we prep forfeiture. The HOA got the notice. Violation of covenant or face a land claim. I pictured Marjorie choking on her latte. She didn't retreat, posted a rant in the newsletter, accusing me of rural intimidation and anti-green vendettas with outdated laws. Agnes chuckled. She's burying herself. Marjorie doubled down. More workers, panels, trenches. I filmed it all, even strapped a GoPro to Hank. Best footage ever. She sent another drone. Bigger, noisier. I didn't shoot it. I waited, letting my roof and barn cams catch it dipping below 50 feet near horses, my niece sunbathing, time-stamped gold. Marjorie's email winked, enjoy the shade. She was clueless. The FAA called her flights broke privacy and aviation laws, especially after she posted clips with hashtags like #HOAPower and #OurLandNow. They hinted at fines or worse. Then an HOA letter, not from Marjorie, arrived. The board suggested a community resolution, admitting budget overruns and neighbor gripes. I framed it in the barn. Surveyors, not solar crews, scanned trenches. One muttered on the phone, it's beyond the boundary. Trouble. The HOA was waking up too late. The town meeting was Marjorie's damage control. She planned a unity speech. It became a legal ambush. The Maple Hollow Community Center overflowed, Maple Hollow folks drawn by drama, not wine. Marjorie, in pearls, oozed confidence. Rumors about the solar project need clearing, legal misunderstandings, our commitment to progress. Skipping her trespass and drone felonies, she waved my cease and desist like a prop. This is obstructionism. Some cling to conspiracies over a cleaner future. I stood. Phones rose. Agnes, in a sweater, whispered, "Get her, cowboy." I took the mic. You built on my land, ignored every stop. That's not progress, it's theft. Murmurs grew. Marjorie cut in. I raised a hand. No title check, no surveyor. You dug on 5 generations of Carver land. Your grid's on a 1923 covenant. Unauthorized builds forfeit to us. I held up the filing. Not a theory, law. The room turned. Marjorie stammered, that's absurd. But the evidence was ironclad. Survey records, the covenant, her own drone footage showing illegal construction. The HOA's lawyer went pale. Residents whispered, some laughed. Marjorie's solar dream collapsed as the crowd realized she'd gambled their funds on a legal landmine. The board halted the project that night, facing massive losses. Marjorie resigned under pressure, her reputation in tatters, and the FAA slapped her with hefty fines for drone violations. My ranch stood untouched, its eastern boundary now a legend in Maple Hollow. Maggie rests in the gun safe, Hank grazes smugly, and Great-Granddad's covenant remains an ironclad guardian, ensuring Marjorie's overreach was crushed by a trap set a century ago.